Hello guys, welcome back to FC Sean Predicts. Today we're going to be predicting Premier League match week 27. But before we do that, I just want to go over quickly our game week 26 predictions and see how good or bad we did. So let's start from the first match. Everton were hosting Manchester United. Our prediction was both teams to score and the actual result was 2-2 and the odds for that was 1.85. So we hit that prediction. And the following match, Leicester were hosting Brentford. We predicted the correct winner there, that Brentford to win, and the odds for that was 1.95 and the actual result was 0-4 for Brentford, so we hit that. And the following one, Ipswich were hosting Tottenham. In that match, we also predicted the correct winner, that Tottenham is going to get the 3 points, and the odds for that was 2.05 and the actual result was 1-4 for Tottenham, so we hit that correct winner as well. The following match, Southampton were hosting Brighton. Our tip was Brighton to win. Combined was under 4.5 goals, meaning 4 or less goals in the game, with the odds of 1.95 and the actual result was 0-4 for Brighton, so we hit that tip. And the following match, Aston Villa were hosting Chelsea. Our tip was both teams to score. Combined was under 4.5 goals, meaning 4 or less goals in the game, with the odds of 1.90 and the actual result was 2-1 for Aston Villa, so we hit that tip as well. And the following game, Manchester City were hosting Liverpool. We predicted the correct winner in that one as well. We predicted that Liverpool is going to win with the odds of 2.20 and the actual result was 2-0 for Liverpool, so we hit that one as well. And as you can see, we missed 4 matches there. That wasn't a big surprise because I said if Wolves are going to put up a fight like they did against Arsenal, they may get something out of this game. That's what they did. They actually won that match. And the following match was Arsenal-West Ham. That was, I don't know what that was, but Arsenal lost that game. And the following one, Fulham were hosting Crystal Palace. They lost 0-2 at home and our tip was Fulham to score 2 or more goals, but that was the opposite. I don't know how Fulham beat Newcastle and Nottingham Forest back to back and then lost at home against Crystal Palace. That was a shocker to me. And the worst one was Newcastle hosting Nottingham. I was expecting a low scoring game there. Our tip was under 2.5 goals, but it was such a goal fest. I was shocked to see so many goals, 4-3. So we still hit majority of our predictions. We hit 6 out of 10, which is not bad at all, I believe, considering the odds we always aim. Anything above 1.70, 1.75. In this case, the lowest one was 1.85. So like we could go for more accuracy with the odds of 1.20, 1.30, 1.40, but we're not going to do that because we want to bring value. Doing that and hitting this many of them with these high values, I think we're doing a pretty good job. But always remember that the tips and predictions are never guaranteed and you're encouraged to make your independent decisions. And now let's get to game week 27. Without further ado, let's go. First match of the week, Brighton will be hosting Bournemouth. This is going to be a super interesting one. 9th against the 6th. Brighton, as we predicted, comfortably defeated Southampton in an away match 4-0. Whereas Bournemouth disappointed their fans by losing at home against Wolves 0-1. And now as things stand, Brighton are only 4 points away from European competition spots. Both teams have 3 wins and 2 losses in their last 5 EPL matches. And in reverse fixture, Bournemouth lost at home 2-1 despite playing against 10 men for around 40 minutes. I was actually impressed by Brighton's recent home win against Chelsea 3-0 and they led Chelsea players to hit the target 0 times. That was a good game. I think Brighton are in a good run and I don't think they're going to drop any points at home despite playing against a team who was until recently were sitting in the 5th place. So my score prediction for this match is 3-1 for Brighton. And my tip is Brighton double chance combined with both teams to score, odds 2.0. On to the next one, Crystal Palace hosting Aston Villa, 13th against the 8th. Crystal Palace had an impressive win in an away match against Fulham and they won 2-0 that game and brought all 3 points home. Whereas Aston Villa drew against Liverpool 2-2 and defeated Chelsea 2-1 in their last 2 EPL matches. But Crystal Palace in a much better form. They had 3 wins out of their last 5 matches, whereas Aston Villa have only 1 win, 3 draws and 1 loss in their last 5. But again, Marco Asensio and Marcus Rashford are getting their chemistry going. Marcus Rashford actually assisted Marco Asensio in both goals against Chelsea, which looks really impressive, and let's see if they're going to keep up that performance. In reverse fixture back in November when these teams met at Villa Park, the game ended 2-2 draw. And the fun fact in this one is when Aston Villa last time visited Crystal Palace, the game ended 5-0 for the home team. So my score prediction for this match is 2-1 for Crystal Palace, and my tip is both teams to score combined was under 5.5 goals, meaning 5 or less goals in the game, odds 1.90. On to the next one, Wolves hosting Fulham, 17th against the 10th. Wolves had an impressive game against Liverpool. They were losing 2-0 after the first half, but in the second half they almost made a comeback, but they made Liverpool park the bus in the second half and tried to survive that game. And in their last outing, they also were able to defeat Bournemouth in an away match 1-0, which was a really good performance and a much needed 3 points. Fulham from the other side, after having impressive wins against Nottingham and Newcastle back to back, they surprised me by losing at home against Crystal Palace 0-2. In reverse fixture, Fulham lost at home 4-1, but the last time when Fulham visited Wolves, they lost that game as well. This game can be a little bit tricky, but I'm ready to back the home team who won their last 2 home games. My score prediction for this game is 2-1 for Wolves, and my tip is Wolves double chance combined with under 4.5 goals, meaning 4 or less goals in the game, odds 1.75. On to the next one, Chelsea hosting Southampton, 7th against the 20th. Chelsea lost their last outing against Aston Villa 2-1 in an away match, whereas Southampton lost to Brighton 4-0 at home. This game should be a great opportunity for Chelsea to get back into the top 5 again, especially playing against the last team in the Premier League. There is no room for them to make a mistake and drop points in this one as well. In reverse fixture, Chelsea were able to defeat Southampton 5-1, but the fun fact is the last time Southampton visited Stamford Bridge back in 2023, they were actually able to defeat Chelsea 1-0 in that away match. I'm expecting Chelsea to bounce back in this match after losing back-to-back 2 games. My score prediction for this match is 3-0 for Chelsea, and my tip is Chelsea to win combined with under 4.5 goals, meaning 4 or less goals in the game, odds 1.90. But if you want something juicier, considering Southampton are scoring against most of the teams, another tip would be Chelsea to win combined with both teams to score, odds 2.15. On to the next one, Brentford hosting Everton, 11th against the 14th. Brentford had an impressive win against Leicester in their last outing, 4-0, whereas Everton almost took all 3 points against Manchester United. They were winning 2-0 after the first half, but in the second half, Manchester United made a comeback and it was 2-2. But in the last seconds, referee gave Everton a penalty, but VAR got intervened and they changed the referee's decision by showing only one angle of the image and not showing the other angle where we've all seen that Everton player was brought down. I don't want to upset Manchester United fans, but that penalty was controversial. I personally thought that was a penalty and the referee's first decision was the correct one. And I feel like Brentford are going to drop the ball here. They lost 4 out of their last 5 home games. So my score prediction for this match is 1-3 for Everton. And my tip is Everton double chance, odds 1.80. But if you want something more juicier, then Everton double chance combined with both teams to score, the odds are juicy 3.0. On to the next one, Tottenham hosting Manchester City, 12th against the 4th. Tottenham on their way back into the top 10, winning all their last 3 EPL matches. And that was against Brentford, Manchester United and Ipswich Town. And Manchester City from the other side got kicked out of the Champions League by Real Madrid. They had a home game against Liverpool after that and they lost that game as well 2-0. And also important to note that Erling Haaland is injured now and out for some time. This game is expected to be entertaining. It will be interesting to see this recovering Tottenham against Manchester City, who is not having a good run lately. And the important thing is both teams had 3 wins and 2 losses in their last 5 EPL matches. And another interesting fact is in reverse fixture when Tottenham visited City, they were able to defeat the home team 4-0 in that away match. And the last time City visited Spurs was back in October. It was for an EFL Cup match, and that game also was won by Spurs 2-1. So in this game, I'm expecting a goal fest. My score prediction for this game is 2-2 draw. And my tip is Spurs double chance, odds 1.93. And if you want something better, then both teams to score combined with under 4.5 goals, meaning 4 or less goals in the game, odds 2.20. On to the next one. Manchester United will be hosting Ipswich Town, 15th against the 18th. Manchester United made a comeback after losing the first half 2-0 against Everton and scoring 2 goals in the second half and drawing the game 2-2. And Ipswich from the other side lost at home against Tottenham 4-1. I can't believe how low Manchester United currently sitting in the table, and this would be a great opportunity to bounce back and get a little further from the relegation zone. But I'm not going to be surprised if they're going to bottle this game and drop points at home again. I really don't want to see Ipswich getting relegated, but it looks like that they most likely will. In reverse fixture, the game ended 1-1 draw. I really don't know this one. Manchester United really must win this game, but with their current form, you cannot rely on them. So my score prediction for this game is 2-2 draw. But since Ipswich Town scored in all of their last 5 EPL matches, my tip for this game would be both teams to score, odds 1.77. On to the next one. This would be the game of the week as well. Nottingham Forest hosting Arsenal, 3rd against the 2nd. Honestly, I was thinking after Liverpool dropped 4 points in their last 3 games, I thought Arsenal are going to be extra motivated to cut that 8 points distance short. Boy, I was wrong. Nottingham from the other side are not doing too well, losing their last 2 EPL matches against Newcastle and Fulham back to back, but somehow still sitting in the 3rd place, but they have no room for any more mistakes because Manchester City and Newcastle are literally 1 win away to take their spot. In reverse fixture, Arsenal were able to defeat Nottingham 3-0, but last season when Arsenal visited Nottingham, the game ended 2-1 for the guests. But the previous season when Gunners visited Forest, the game ended 2-1 for the guests. So I don't know, both of these teams are dropping a lot of points lately. But the interesting fact is that Nottingham won 4 out of their last 5 home matches, where Arsenal had the same stats for away games. And one more important thing to note, Arsenal have a Champions League game coming up next week, so they definitely want to get a win in this one to boost their confidence. So my score prediction for this match is 1-2 for Arsenal, and my tip is both teams to score, odds 1.92. But if you're leaning towards Forest and Arsenal disappointing again, then Nottingham Forest double chance combined with over 1.5 goals, meaning 2 or more goals in the game, odds 2.50. On to the next one, another super interesting match that I'm looking forward to. Liverpool hosting Newcastle, 1st against the 5th. Liverpool in their last outing defeated Manchester City as we predicted, and I believe they practically won the Premier League. And Newcastle beat their direct rivals for the Champions League position spots. Nottingham, the game ended 4-3, what a goal fest that was. And after that win, they actually got back into the top 5 and now aiming to replace either Manchester City in the 4th or Nottingham in the 3rd. And a quick reminder, Liverpool are going to have a super important away match against PSG in Paris, and that's next week. So the important question is, would Arne Slot rest some of the players to avoid any injuries, or would he go all in just to get a good win and boost their confidence for that Paris visit? In reverse fixture, the Magpies were able to get a point at home. That game ended 3-3 draw. That was a goal fest. But the last time Newcastle visited Anfield, that game ended 4-2 for the Reds. Another goal fest right there. Newcastle's away record doesn't look too bad with 4 wins and 1 loss in their last 5 EPL matches. And Liverpool's home record stand was 3 wins and 2 draws. I think the Reds are gonna get it done to face PSG with boosted confidence. And I think they're gonna get a win with a class. My score prediction for this match is 3-1 for Liverpool. And my tip is Liverpool to win, combined with under 5.5 goals, meaning 5 or less goals in the game, odds 1.75. On to the next one. Last game of the week, West Ham hosting Leicester, 16th against the 19th. West Ham really surprised us by beating the Gunners 1-0 in an away match and potentially ending that title race. Very impressive win. Leicester from the other side lost at home against Brentford 4-0. I'm really surprised that Van Nistelrooy is still not sacked. In reverse fixture, the Foxes were able to get a 3-1 win over West Ham, and I believe that West Ham would want the revenge for that loss. But the fun fact is, the last time Leicester visited West Ham back in 2022, that game ended 2-0 for the Foxes. This one is a tricky one to predict. I'm not sure if Leicester already gave up staying up in the Premier League, or will they actually fight until the last game to achieve that goal. I'm not going to be surprised if this game is going to end in a draw, but I'm ready to back the home team. I think they're super hyped up after beating Arsenal at Emirates Stadium. So my score prediction for this match is 2-0 for West Ham, and my tip is West Ham to win, combined with under 4.5 goals, meaning 4 or less goals in the game. That's 2.05. That's all, guys. That was Premier League Match Week 27 predictions. Do not be shy to leave your comments in the comment section. I'll try to reply to all of them. Put thumbs up if you liked the video, and also subscribe so you're not going to miss our next releases. And bye for now.